I'm JJ Barnes and this is Jonathan McKinney.
Hey.
And you're watching another episode of Writing, Talking and Dog Walking. Today, what we wanted to do was a massive shout out and words of encouragement to all the writers out there who are doing NaNoWRIMO.
Okay.
Because we know there's a lot of people on YouTube right now who are pushing themselves every day to try and write as many words as they can, trying to get to 50,000 words in 1 month.
Right.
So if you're not familiar with it, NaNoWRIMO is the National Writing Month. It's always in November. And basically all these writers all get together, encourage each other, support each other, and try and write an entire novel in 1 month.
Right.
So that is quite an intense undertaking,
Yes.
especially because a lot of writers have day jobs. So they have to go out to work or to university or to school, or they are full-time parents, and they are still trying to push themselves to write an entire book in a single month, which, even if you're a full-time writer with no other commitments,
Is a challenge.
it is quite a challenge. And we are writers full-time, so we do this and we do various other things, but all to do with writing. We have children, but a lot of the time they're in school.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it would still be, I think, a huge challenge to write an entire novel in 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just wanted to say a few words of encouragement and a few pieces of advice that might help you if you are struggling right now with NaNoWRIMO, because I would understand why. You might feel the pressure of doing it. You might have got a bit lost and be struggling with some writer's block. I've seen people tell you that writer's block is not real. That's not true. Basically, writer's block is real and you can deal with it.
Yeah.
But don't pretend it isn't real, and don't pretend you're not struggling with it, because then you'll just feel the pressure. You'll feel guilt. You'll feel like
You
there's
might feel a
something
bit
wrong with you.
Like you're failing.
Exactly.
Which isn't helpful, because the point is you want to be able to write more, you want to type more words down.
Exactly. So don't
Rather
listen to
than-
anyone who just says you're making it up. You're not. It's okay. It's okay to find it hard, and it's okay to struggle. So what we're going to do is tell you a few things you can do to cope with it. So if you're struggling with writer's block and you can't, get yourself into your story, right? What I would always say you to do, job number 1, is look at your protagonist, okay? Go back in your story, and it might involve deleting a bit, and that's okay. Don't stress about that, right? Go back in your story to the last point your protagonist was actively pursuing their goal, right?
Yeah.
Because your story needs to be about what a person wants and how they're going about getting it and what's stopping them, right? So your 3 sort of pillars of how to start writing your story. So go back in your story to the last point your protagonist was actively pursuing that goal, because it's very easy, I think, to get sidetracked, to have different events happen, things they react to and things they're busy doing, but they are not the point of the story. And that is when you start to get a bit lost. You start to feel like, well, I don't know where to go now because I've taken myself off on this side road, right? So go back, read back in what you've written, find the last point they were actively pursuing, right? Start writing again from there. And it sucks if you have to delete a couple of chapters. It really does. And it can
Especially
be
in
in
this
NaNoWRIMO,
month,
yeah. It can be soul destroying, but it will stop the writer's block, and it will mean that you can then write, because you are back to with your protagonist, and you are back to what you're actually set out to write in the first place. Maybe they want to get an education, they want to fall in love, they want to kill a bad guy. It doesn't really matter what it is. It can be anything. But yeah, set yourself back to that and focus on that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it might be that you're overwhelmed with the number of things that you've kind of started, and you don't know how to steer them now. Like they are not in tandem with each other, and that happens all the time with a complicated story. And if you're writing this fast, it's very possible you are exploring avenues without knowing where you're going to end up. And once you do that, you're like, oh god, now I have to find ways to get these back.
You just got a bit lost on all your paths,
Yeah.
and you need to unite them again.
Yeah, temptation might be to get drunk. Probably don't. Maybe
Maybe
at
a
the
little
end
bit.
of the month. I mean, if you find it helpful, then do. But if
A little bit drunk.
if it clouds you even more, then don't. Just say, I'll drink when I'm done.
Yeah. Go for the coffee. The coffee is your
Coffee's
friend.
better, yeah. You can just. It might be just that sense of, oh my god, this sucks. And I think I've talked about this when we talked about writing blocks.
Self-loathing is a
before.
massive part of my writing
Yeah,
process.
because I mean, I don't know you, my good friend out there, but it's entirely possible that putting that much effort and creativity, draining your creativity this much, is leaving you feeling like when you look at the words on the page, they suck. And they don't. They're great, and it's not, I mean, I don't know, they might not be the best, but they are good, I'm sure of it. Because
if you're doing this, if you're committed to NaNoWRIMO, the likelihood is that you are actually quite good, because it takes a lot to be able to put yourself on the page like that. You've got to have something in you that is
and also
meant for it.
I think what I'm getting at with this is, when I say it doesn't suck, because the thing that you're feeling is, I suck. Right, not me, John McKinney. Jonathan McKinney sucks. No, you're feeling like you... Thank you. But you're feeling like you suck if you feel like this. And when you feel like that, it's not the work you've done that you don't like. It's your own voice when it's written down. You're looking at it and you're just cringing because you're like, oh my God, I'm terrible.
This is me.
You are not terrible. You're lovely, I'm sure of it.
I have to go through this every time. Just a hatred of everything about me. And like, he has to sit there going, no, you're fine. I'm reading it and I'm not you. So, you know, he'll read it and not see all the disgustingness of me, right? Right? I'll read it and be like, well, clearly I am a horrible, untalented human. But, you know, I move through it and this is what you have to do.
Yeah, just put those feelings to one side, if you can, and trust yourself, right? Your higher self, you're in there. You say, I'm not going to hate myself. I'm going to get back to doing this, because the other thing you can do, if you don't learn not to hate yourself so much, so that it blocks you from being able to work, the other option is that you go and get a job in a call centre for the rest of your life, and you watch Coronation Street or whatever the American soap opera is, and you don't have this creative life that you're yearning for, and you can't let that go.
If you can't learn, you're right, if you can't learn to move through the self-loathing, I mean, it'll still be there, because mine, as I say, I've been doing this for a long time now. It's still there. I still struggle with it. It's still a voice in my head.
Self-loathing is always a lie.
Yeah.
Nobody else hates you the way you hate yourself. I promise you. Like, you know, you might have enemies, but they don't hate you because of the reasons you feel like that.
But you have to learn to deal with it. You have to learn to just be like, you know what? I have to get it out, because you're right. Otherwise, you aren't going to have this as your accomplishment. You're not going to have that creative outlet, because you stop yourself, and it's not somebody else stopping you. It's not anybody else telling you that you're terrible. It's your head, and you have to beat that, because you're worth it, and it is worth it, and creativity is such a wonderful thing to do. So my other piece of advice, if you are struggling with NaNoWRIMO, right? Remember editing, okay? What you are writing now, what you are speed writing now, sitting there like right, pouring your soul and your ideas and your creative energy into, what is on the screen right now is not the final product, okay? So it's okay if it doesn't have the exact feeling you want it to. It's all right if it isn't as beautifully constructed. It's all right if there's mistakes. If sometimes the characters say things that are just basic sentences and
functional dialogue is fine.
It's okay to sometimes be like, I can't think right now how I want them to get from this point to this point. I'm just going to write them getting to this point, and I'm going to write from this point, and then later you go in and editing. I'm going to put a link to our editing video, because I think it'll be that side actually. Editing, if you can embrace it and learn to love it, is a wonderful part of writing. And it has a bad name. A lot of people hate editing. I see it all the time, because we're on the Twitter and everything like that, and editing has got such a bad name and people loathe it, right? But we would like to help you learn to love it, because what you're doing right now is a first draft, and that's fine. Editing takes it, and it takes something where you're like, not feeling it, and you make it beautiful. You weave in your narrative triplets, you weave in your foreshadowing, you weave in all of these things you can do. You neaten up any characterization that has gone astray. You can work in beautiful language and beautiful uses of our language to do what you want to do. Your first draft, really, you just need to get it down.
Yeah.
Get it down.
Yeah, and like, in addition to those thoughts, a couple of other things I would say. You want writing to be your job, which means it's a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a hobby, not right now. Right now, it's your job. You've got to do your job. You've got to keep working, okay? You're not going to be a successful writer, even in a small community, without working for it. So
yeah. If you treat it like a hobby that you can just put down and not bother with, it will never be anything more than a hobby.
That's just to say that this is what you signed up for, right? So yeah, don't play with
go for it.
Yeah, don't PlayStation, don't Xbox. Not right
Dedicate
now, because there's
yourself.
like a week left. So, you know, just keep working, keep going, don't hate yourself. Remember to track your main character. You obviously have a very prominent main character, because for NaNoWRIMO, I doubt you're doing, you know, a very complicated ensemble thing. What did they want in the first place? What are they working for? What's stopping them from getting it? Right through the pain, if you have to. And if you're doing really well, then well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
And if you are struggling, honestly, it's okay, because you're taking a massive challenge, and challenges are challenging.
Yes, they are.
So,
and also, if you can't finish, it's totally fine.
It's okay.
It's totally fine. You've let nobody down. So
if you don't accomplish this, as you say, what you still have is a hell of a lot of writing done.
Yeah, and it can't be undone.
It can't be undone,
so,
and you can build from it, and you can keep going, and you can just use what you've done now to grow and develop further, and that's fine. Because writing is genuinely a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy. I can't imagine doing anything else with my life at this point. I mean, obviously, being a mom and, you know, having my relationships and my friends and my family all matter an incredible amount to me, but writing is my my life blood, if you like. It is something that I am absolutely and always have been completely passionate about. So when I am able to find and encourage other people to love it like I do, and, you know, find that joy, and obviously stress and pain and despair, but joy is the overriding factor that I have with everything to do with writing, then, you know, find it and embrace it, because it's wonderful.
Yeah, the despair it's only happening because you've emptied so much of yourself.
You put your soul onto that page.
Yeah, once you get to be empty, then you're like, I can't do it anymore.
You always say bleed on the page.
Yeah, well, you've been doing that.
Exactly.
So, not necessarily in the sense that you've put like your biggest heart pain and everything.
No, but you're pouring creativity and brain and
you can't
heart.
get to tens and tens of thousands of words in 23, 24 days and still be full, like a tank that's full, because
exactly.
That is a draining experience. It's
very
probably
draining.
why you're watching this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for you and well done, and keep going and let us know how it went.
Yeah, please do. Please come and tell us. Tell us what your word count is. Tell us anything you are stuck on. Tell us anything you are proud of. If you need some motivational words, we are here. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we will absolutely scream for you to keep going and to be proud of what you have accomplished so far. So come, find us, talk to us, because we would love to come and like celebrate what you're doing. So yeah, give us a shout out, anything that you have done, and we would love to see that.
All right.
So thank you very much for watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to our channel, you will help us keep growing, because we are trying to bring you free writing advice every single day. We're also bringing you information about our new film that's coming out called Hollowhood. So we're doing behind the scenes interviews and like look at locations and things like that, which might be inspiring and exciting, and also it's going to be an awesome movie, so yeah, check that out. As I say, there's links to all our social media in the description below. Also, yeah, watch our videos that might help you. So we've got, you know, as I say, writer's block, editing, narrative triplets, characterization, all of those things. They might help you. If you are clogged on one thing, find a video related to it. There's playlists, everything like that. It will hopefully clear some of your space.
And even though it serves us, if you do this, don't spend all day watching us talk about writing.
Oh yeah.
Or anybody else.
But
our
videos are in like 10-minute chunks, so you can watch a video and hopefully be declogged.
You could watch hours and hours and hours of which is great.
Save that till after NaNoWRIMO.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to speaking to you and hearing what you have done. And we are real proud that everybody is doing something incredible that we are also completely in love with. So, yay! Do it, writers! Woo!
Nice.
Thank you. Bye.